Hello everyone. As promised, one more crack at Live the Dream Cube before it goes down tomorrow. You can find some more info about this cube in my previous Live the Dream Cube video, but I will link the list in the video description as well. Alright, let's take a look at pack 1 here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and draft this Atraxa. I mean, that's really sweet, right? We can probably find a way to reanimate it, but I also don't think it would be that hard to put together a deck that can actually cast it. The fixing is pretty good. There's signets, there's a couple cycles of fixing lands. I'm ready. I'm going to put this Atraxa right into my deck, and I'm going to find a way to put it onto the stack. Whoa. Unite the Coalition. I think we can wheel this card, but I'm kind of ready for it. Crabomination is probably the best card in this pack. I think I've landed on just casting 2-for-1s a bunch. I think that's how you win this format. Atraxa is like 1,000,000 for 1. Crabomination is also a 2-for-1. Yeah, I don't know. Let's cast our opponent's broken spells as well as our broken spells. Cruel Ultimatum. Mizzix's Mastery. This format is pretty cool. Toxrill is also really sweet. Just kind of like wipes your opponent's whole board. Maybe we should draft fixing. Both of these fixing lands are red though. That doesn't help us cast Atraxa Grand Unifier. Cruel Ultimatum is a red spell, so that's going to be tough. Binding the Old Gods is actually fixing. So it's Rampant Growth. Let's just take Rampant Growth. Okay. Now, Binding the Old Gods is Rampant Growth, but it also does other stuff. Yeah, okay. This format is too slow to draft Rampant Growth over Binding the Old Gods. Jin-Gitaxias, the March of the Machine one. Atali. Watery Grave, for sure, for sure. Greenrow Cascade? We're going to have to be base green if we want to cast all these spells. I'm also excited about 6 and the Eternal Wanderer, but every single pack is going to have sick cards. We just have to draft green fixing if we want to be able to cast our stuff. Unfortunately, Dreamroot Cascade is not actually a forest, so it doesn't do anything with Binding the Old Gods. That's okay. We'll figure it out. I think at this stage in the draft, I would pick Bayou over basically anything. Maybe some Triomes. Triomes that are green I would take over Bayou. For example, Zagoth Triome. If you'd had me pick any Triome that exists, I would have picked this one, so that's pretty sick. Felidar Retreat is also kind of crazy, but we're going to have to pick like 2 to 3 colors that are our actual base colors, and this Atraxa is going to be a splash. Cruel Signet. Yeah, let's draft Cruel Signet. It's going to ramp us. Now, do we even care about that? I mean, it is fixing, but it's not that good fixing. That being said, everything else in this pack is pretty medium too. I mean, Whirler Rogue is good, but it's double blue. I'm going to take the Signet. Part of me thinks that ramp just doesn't matter in this format at all, and that you're making a mistake by putting some card that doesn't do anything in your deck. Oh, Emperor of Bones is really strong. This is also a way to grab the Atraxa, and it's also Grave Hate. As much as I want to draft this Rafine's Tower, it's not a forest. I'm going to take the Emperor of Bones. Atraxa is going to look sweet as the background image of this video. Virtue of Persistence, my beloved. Awesome removal spell. Way to cheat Atraxa onto the battlefield. Love to see it. Got a decent smattering of MH3 cards going on here already. I have not actually played with Emperor of Bones yet. Counterpoint is weird. It doesn't help us cheat Atraxa out very easily. Do we just want Midnight Clock? Or maybe Price of Fame? I'm sure removal is good, but Midnight Clock is a 7-for-1. And it ramps. I'm in. That card is going to be so much more annoying to play with on Moto than it is on Arena. It's already pretty annoying to play with on Arena. Oh well. Malcolm is kind of sick. We could potentially try to cheat in our big scary things with it. That's cute. I like it. When Scholar of the Lost Trove enters, you may cast target instant sorcery or artifact from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. Pretty good. Flotsam and Jetsam is also really good, though. I'm going to take Flotsam Jetsam. Goldvein Hydra versus Turgid. This is the one that, like, is a weird stacks piece on the back. I think this card is fun. I don't think it's that good, but I do think it's fun. Alright, I'm going to take the Hedron Archive. I'm going to ramp into our big stuff and draw some cards. Oh, Felidar Retreat came back, but we can't really cast it. I think we're like blue-black right now. Roiler Rogue also came back. I think that card is pretty powerful. And Mazemind Tome, a really surprising last pick in my opinion. Okay, Jace is kind of whatever. Flooded Strand is very enticing. Yeah, it's going to be the Strand here. I've never seen this two-headed Hellkite card in my life. Flying Menace Haste. Draw 2 cards whenever it attacks. Wow. Well, that's sweet. Flooded Strand to fetch our Zagoth Triome. Gonti, Marsh Flats. Great Henge, also really good, probably. Bolas, very enticing. I am going to take the Marsh Flats, though. I'm pretty certain this is a singleton fetch format, so having 2 is really good. That's already above expectation, and we saw a third one and passed it. Had to draft this sweet Atraxa instead. Chandra Hope's Beacon, awesome. Lush Portico gets fetched with Flooded Strand and Marsh Flats, and is also a white source for our Atraxa, so that's pretty powerful. Ooh, I like Kinnan. I also like Vorinclex. What do we lose if we companion Gigantha? Too many cool things. Fabro Elder, Caustic Bronco is pretty dangerous with Atraxa. Xander's Lounge taps for a color that we don't really care about, but it's still a blue-black fetchable. We already have the Zagoth Triumph, so that's kind of whatever. This one cares about instants and sorceries. Kinnan can get Crabomination or Atraxa. They're both non-humans. We've got this Cruel Signet and this Hedron Archive. And it's a reasonable 2-drop. Maybe Hierarch is better. So few ones. Okay, we have to try to find an untapped something for these fetches. Oh, I think Assimilation Aegis is probably very powerful in this format too. Angel of the Ruins doesn't fix our mana yet. Pillage the Bog is also really strong. Basically Demonic Tutor. Assimilation Aegis is a 2-for-1 though. I like 2-for-1ing my opponents in this format. Pest Infestation also strikes me as quite good. It's a little closer to what our mana base is doing as well. Alright, let's try Pest Infestation. I think a lot of the powerful permanents in this format are going to be enchantments, artifacts. We can gain some life, we can chump block a bunch. This card's probably just good. Make it a 3, I guess. Maybe it's a 5 on average. Sarah the Benevolent, Kadama's Reach. We have the wrong Shockland here. I've never seen this ninja. It thought seizes them? Okay, that's interesting. This is an O-ring with flash. I like that. Kind of hard to cast in this deck. But I don't think Dream Eater is very good. Maybe we should Kadama's Reach for the fixing. Signet. Chainer's Edict, kind of medium. None of these cards are really speaking to me. Forceful Denial is kind of cool. Yeah, okay. There's, again, not very much counter magic in this format, is what we discovered in our first go at it. So Forceful Denial is rated highly for me. Prismatic Ending versus Simic Signet is interesting. I think Ending is much worse in this format than it normally is. I also like Discovery Dispersal as something to do in the early game that still affects the board in the late game. Twining Twins is also kind of neat. This is a hard pick. I'll take the Discovery, I guess. Running out of time there a little bit. We did put too many Signets in our Forceful Denial deck last time, and it caused us to not be able to hit meaningful spells as frequently. Let's go with Tiny Bones here. I think this card is neat. Try to steal our opponent's stuff. Wow, the Gonti came back? That's wild. I think this card is really good in this format. Obzidot's Aid can get our Atraxa back or something like that, but it doesn't really 2-for-1 unless we have a 2-for-1 in our graveyard. That being said, I still think it's better than multiple choice. This is also counter magic. Maybe the Hierarch was a mistake. We're probably not going to end up green enough for that to consistently ramp us. And a Spell Swindle. Okay, let's just play all this counter magic. We're way deeper into blue than we were before. But I think Kodama's Reach is maybe still worth it. I don't know if we can actually mainboard these double white spells. We'll see how the fixing shakes out in pack 3. I'm really missing that Rafine's Tower. Sia Torres does not tap for white. Geruda seems really powerful in this format. We can easily cast it too. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I don't know if we even want the Signet at this point. Oh, Jin-Gataxias. Savai Triumph taps for black and white. Azorius Signet taps for white and for blue. Hostage Taker is a 2-for-1. Yeah, Hostage Taker is probably very good in this format, isn't it? Should we cut the green spells? Just be kind of consistent blue-black here. Our card quality is very high. And we've got the fixing to cast the Atraxa just barely here, which is kind of cute. I might not even play the Dreamroot Cascade. Just let the fetches do it. Exactly one green source and one white source. Thundering Falls. Vraska. Cryptic Coat, pretty sweet. Necromancy, also pretty sweet. We have a couple of ways of milling ourselves. In Magical Christmas Land, we can actually make a turn 3 Atraxa if we draft this Necromancy. Okay. Yeah, I'm in. Ooh, Lolth. But also, Yorion? Yorion Companion? You have a lot of playables. Our fixing is kind of bad, though. I think Lolth is probably the correct answer here. Alright, I already made a Yorion video. Was that last week or was that on Monday? In any case, we already Yorion this season. Let's do something a little different. Finale of Eternity. Keruga, the Macro Sage. That one I actually kind of can companion. This one feels pretty free in this format. We would have to cut Malcolm, Emperor of Bones, and Mace Mind Tone, and Tiny Bones. Oh no, you can't play spells that have small mana values either. But I actually don't have that many of them, because a lot of my 2-drops are actually 7-drops. I've got all these split cards. I could lean a little further into the green splash if I wanted to play Keruga. Tropical Island helps with that. Gets fetched with Flooded Strand, but not Marsh Flats. Chariot is also really good. Can't play Pest Infestation. Sublime Epiphany also seems pretty messed up. We've got a bunch of green sources already. I'm not worried about the trop. Yarok. That's pretty sweet. But if we draft Deserted Beach, we might be able to play Elspeth Conquers Death. And Obsidian's Aid? Okay, let's do that. Brings our spell count back up a little bit. Obsidian's Aid is fine. 22. Yeah, this actually came out pretty well, I think. Hallowed Fountain gets fetched with both of our current fetches and makes our white mana much more reliable. Thalia and the Gitrog monster is also pretty messed up, though. I think I'm going to take the Fixing. There's just a lot of messed up cards, and I want to be able to cast them. I'm less worried about finding specific messed up cards. Maybe Dam? No, we can't play Dam. Never mind. Crime and Punishment is kind of cool. It's a board wipe that can also reanimate something out of opponent's graveyard. Is that better than Garruk? Sure. It's going to be a 5 in this deck, I think. Jin Gataxias came back. That card is so messed up. We also need a couple more expensive things to try and reanimate, I think. Cryptic Coat also came back. We have more playables than I was expecting. Yorion came back too. Jeez. Should we take the Soul Herder? We've got a lot of good things to do with Soul Herder. We can probably cut this Preacher of the Schism. Spell Swindle is worse than Forceful Denial, I think, and we already have Insidious Will, which is just straight up counterspell. Rise and Fall. Finale of Eternity. Yeah, let's Rise and Fall. It's kind of like a weird flash. I think we can, like... We can't actually cast the Fall half of it, but I don't think that matters. Oh, that's not what this card does. What card am I thinking of? Okay, that was a mistake. But that card is not, that's not the card I was thinking of. Isn't there a split card that gets a creature from the graveyard and then it gets haste and then you sacrifice it? I guess that would be pretty messed up at 2 mana. No, I don't know. Gorya's Vengeance exists, stuff like that. I don't know. I think I'm thinking of push-pull, maybe. Mixed up there. So Keruga stays in the sideboard here. I think this is going to have to be... this can probably be a 17 land deck. We've got Flotsam and also... where's the other split spell? This guy. Has like virtual cantrips. Nothing with actual cycling, which is what you were supposed to do with Keruga in its limited format. In any case, I'm going to try to cut 2 cards here. I don't know if I really care about Hedron Archive anymore. I suppose it is technically a 2-for-1. But we have a lot of stuff to do on turn 4 that's more impactful than that. And, I mean, maybe the same is true of Kodama's Reach. I just really think we might need the fixing. Maybe it's Whirler Rogue? Are we just outvaluing our opponent instead of trying to actually kill them? Like the ceiling on the card is you win the game a lot of the time. But the floor is kind of a terrible top deck. Got a bunch of 4s here. But we've got multiple ramp spells at 3. We've always got something to do with our mana on turn 4 with the Keruga. So that's probably fine. We can't play these cards. We are going to play all of these fixing lands. And now we get to play 10 basics. I think we're going to play 1 plains for the Kodama's Reach. And, well, okay. Let's see. We have a ton of white sources over here. And we do have double white spells in our deck. Yeah, this mana base is going to be a little bit of a mess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green sources. Basic forest is going to be a 6th. We might have to go up a basic forest here to try and cast our fixing spells. And then we want 10 total lands here. So we're supposed to go up here, probably on blue. We do have a lot of blue fixing lands and not so many black fixing lands. Okay. Got the Triome. That's not very many black sources. Now that I'm looking at it, I think we should go up a swamp and maybe down a forest. This is a wild mana base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total forests, or 6 total green sources here. We've got all of our fixing lands make blue, except for Lush Portico. So 3 islands is probably fine. We really have to crank up on swamps here because of our fixing situation. I don't know, 5 swamps feels like a lot though. I've only got 3 black fixing lands. Okay, I'm gonna try it like this. It doesn't feel good, but I don't think there's any way to make it feel good. Keruga Companion. Alright, I'm gonna save the deck. I'm not gonna play this until tomorrow. It's getting a little bit late, but the league runs until basically the end of the day. So if I sound drastically different in about 10 seconds when I start the matches, that's why. Alright, we are on the play in match 1. I'm going to reveal my companion here. And I'm going to have to put this somewhere so I don't forget about it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got 2 black sources, but nothing really to cast with them. This one looks like a mulligan to me. Alright, this one looks a lot better. I'm going to put away the Elspeth Conquers Death. We're pretty far away from our second white source with this hand. Keep this, bottom this, and looking good. We can grab green with our Flooded Strand if we want, or we can get both actually. If we get the Lush Portico, we get to Surveil, but we miss out on our double blue for Insidious Will. I think I am going to Surveil here. And that can go into the graveyard. We're far away from it. Okay. Just go ahead and cast Jetsam main phase. Oh, wrong one. I want to cast Flotsam. Okay. There's no benefit to this besides clock equity, but there aren't really any 2-drop instants. Like, I don't think there are any 2-mana counterspells in this format at all, so I'm not really worried about bluffing anything. I try not to do that too much, but I am finding it surprisingly difficult to play in a timely fashion on Magic Online while also talking about what I'm doing. I'm getting better at it, though. This is a Gonti Lord of Luxury. Cultivate, sweet. This is going to be a good turn to hold up Insidious Will. There's the Atraxa. Going to attack with our 3/2. Hold up Insidious Will and then crack the Clue if we have nothing to counter. They are also in a lot of colors over there. The same colors as me. I wonder if they also have an Atraxa they're trying to cast. Okay. Counter target spell. Choose this target spell. Tap my lands. Goodbye, Yarok. I'm going to take 1 down to 18 and found another land. That's good news. Going to attack here. And we actually do have the double blue for Alquist. The Alquist activation, that is. And we'll get a second clue here. I might not crack this clue end step because we can draw 2 cards with it with Alquist. And I think that's going to be more important. Oh, I could have left up Cryptic Coat Bounce, though. I wasn't thinking about that. I got too caught up in the clues. There it is. Atraxa Grand Unifier. Alright, what are we going to do about this? We can't make our own Atraxa quite yet, but we're getting close. I chose Crime Punishment, Abstruse Appropriation, Hedge Maze, Two-Headed Hellkite, and Grist. Okay, so here's a Geruda. That's a really good draw, except I can't cast it yet. So this is going to be attack for 3 unblockable. And we can either buy Keruga or we can draw a bunch of cards with a clue. I think drawing 2 cards is better. 2 random cards is better than just Keruga. Two-Headed Hellkite would have been a really sweet hit off of Geruda, that's for sure. They took the Hedge Maze. This Grist. Okay. Crime Punishment, Abstruse Appropriation, Two-Headed Hellkite. That looks right. Okay. I will take 7. The Great Henge, terrifying. Opponent is out-dreaming me over there. Missing my 6th land drop was pretty brutal. Okay, they've got a Grist. What are they going to do with the Grist? They could kill my Proft. No, they want the 1/1. Grist is done. They milled Villainous Wealth. They're floating Atraxa mana again? What's going on over there? Oh, punishment. Destroy all my stuff. Yeah, they probably should have done that after or before activating Grist. But done. Sack a clue. I'm gonna lose my other clue, unfortunately. Here's my own crime punishment. So what can I do with that? I can't cast it big enough to kill the Atraxa. I can't get anything out of their graveyard that kills the Atraxa. This only gets out of opponent's graveyard. Creature or enchantment. Interesting. Okay, well they don't have any enchantments, so that doesn't matter. They also have an abstruse, whatever, abstruse something, appropriation in their hand. So I think we are going to cast the Geruda and hope to hit something really crazy off Geruda. Maybe like a Ravenous Chupacabra or something would do the trick here. Get that Plains, and the Doom of Depths is here. I can have Archon of Cruelty. That's pretty good. Is that better than Crap Abomination? I think it is, yeah. Okay. So it can probably abstruse the Archon. I still need to find a removal spell for the Atraxa. Or enough mana to cast my own Atraxa, and that would be pretty good too. I'm going to declare no blocks here. I'm going to go to 8. I'm going to gain 3, provided I get to attack with the Archon. If they approach now, I keep saying Abstruse Interference, I think, which is the counter spell from Battle for Zendikar, or maybe Oath of the Gatewatch. Abstruse Appropriation. Okay. Did they have enough mana to actually cast the Archon there? I have no idea. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to sack my Gonti. I'm going to discard probably Kodama's Reach. What I have to do here is make an Atraxa. This one's gone, this one's gone. They haven't played the Hedge Maze or the Dragon yet. They don't have a red source. Archon has a counter because of Great Henge. I do get to cast my Atraxa. But I'm going to die to the Archon trigger, unfortunately. Okay, and I'll just concede here. I don't think I have that much leeway in what I can bring in because of the Keruga. Yeah, just need to draw more removal, basically. I have a good amount of it. Binding, Hostage Taker, Elspeth. This thing kills things, maybe? No. It just draws cards and makes spiders, but that's fine too. Okay, I will take the play. I will reveal my Keruga. And this hand looks pretty good. Marsh Flats is going to get my Triome so I can Kodama's Reach. And then I think we're really cooking. We've got a lot of value here. Hostage Taker can 2 for 1. Keruga might even 3 for 1 if I cast it after the Virtue. Opponent has mulligan to 6. Get that Triome, and I really got to turn that setting on. I keep forgetting. There's something that turns this no possible play on automatically at the start of each game, and I consistently forget to do that. Alrighty, and here is Kodama's Reach. Could also kill this. Maybe I will. Tapped Hallowed Fountain. There's nothing I'm really trying to ramp into quite yet. And I also think that there aren't actually that many things in this format that die to -3/-3. A Kodama's Reach of their own. They reveal Plains Forest. They play Plains for turn. Or they put the Plains tapped. So they have Forest in their hand. Oh, this is a great time to slam Gonti, I think. See what we can get. Okay. Lost Trove is kind of medium, but Timeless Witness is pretty good. Problem is, Timeless Witness is actually going to go to their graveyard when it dies. I still think that might be worth it over the Great Henge. Maybe not. Maybe Great Henge is just really good. I have a lot of top end already here. Does Timeless Witness work the way I want it to? No, it does not. Soul Herder. Instant sorcery or artifact card. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take... The Great Henge currently costs 7. Alright, I'll take the Timeless Witness. I've already got a good 7 drop. And most of my creatures don't get much bigger than 2 power anyway. Grist, okay. Okay, no land. That really makes me want to cast this Kodama's Reach. But it's going to take me off of Soul Herder Gonti if I do that. I think that's okay, because I can attack the Grist and put it down to 2, or they block and then they can't sack anything to kill my Gonti. Okay, combat. Attack Grist. Now for the Reach. Okay, they do want the block. I think I'm going to get... I don't need double green for anything. I've already got double white and double black and triple blue. So... yeah, let's just grab Swamp, Island. I'll put the Swamp onto the battlefield and I'll play the Island for turn. And then I can actually just cast this Discovery. Is that what I want? Should I plant a Dispersal with it instead? Maybe I should. Okay, never mind. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hitting my 7th land drop is pretty important here. Okay, I'll cast this. Midnight Clock is a cool draw. Crime and Punishment is kind of bad right now. I'm going to put these both into the graveyard, I think. No, maybe I do want the Midnight Clock. I can cast Soul Herder and Midnight Clock next turn. Or maybe Midnight Clock plus Hostage Taker if I need to. We'll see what they've got. Two-headed Hellkite. Oh, it's got haste. Oh, whoa, okay. You get 2 cards out of it. Costs 6 mana, so I'm pretty far away from taking it hostage. Oh, I could bind the Old Gods it, though. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're gonna go... We have to leave our black mana open for binding. Binding is another reason to leave Forest in my deck, which I was not thinking about before, but still good. We'll hit Grist again. They're going to block. That's fine. do have a lot of cards in hand, but I also have a bunch of virtual cards in hand. Timeless Witness, Virtue, and Keruga all at my disposal here. Rampant Growth, that's fine. Got another token from Grist. I guess I don't actually want to always yield to this. No, I can, because I can let that resolve and then... Okay, we're gonna get our forest. Lush Portico. It intertapped anyway, so let's surveil with it. Okay, island can go into the graveyard. And this turn is just gonna be, well, first we'll attack the Grist. You don't care about blocking this time. And I am going to cast this Soul Herder and hold up Insidious Will. And that's going to hit the always yes. Target you. I should always yield to that one as well. Take your Yarok, probably. I guess this is another hit at the Great Henge. I can now actually cast it. Okay, we'll take the Great Henge this time. We have to hit OK to look at the cards, and then we have to select one, which is kind of funny. None of these cards are actually in my opponent's hand. Don't care about that. And now it is opponent's upkeep step. Okay, they're going to probably go ahead and kill that Soul Herder. They want to kill the Gonti. Interesting. Okay. Escape to the wilds until the end of your next turn. That's fine. This one I'm not too worried about. Now, next turn they can cast Atraxa and I can counter it. They get an additional land drop this turn. They still chose to play a land out of their hand. 2 lands out of their hand. Is that not how Escape to the Wilds works? You may play cards exiled this way until the end of your next turn. Okay, weird. Let's see. Suppose I copy this spell. I really need to counter their Atraxa. I think that's important. So I'm just going to let this resolve. I guess if they cast it, I can just take it with Hostage Taker and then flicker the Hostage Taker anyway. Is this until end of turn? No, that's just forever. But it doesn't show up in this exile zone over here. It's in a different exile? Oh, because it's in my exile zone? Jeez. I'm gonna put an hour counter on my midnight clock. Okay, that's fine. There's nothing for me to take hostage here, so I'm gonna buy Keruga. And then I'm just gonna say go. Because I need to hold up. Yeah, none of these things I can cast here while still holding up Insidious Will. Despite having an absurd number of different things to cast. They still don't want to play these lands out of their exile zone. Do they have more than one spell to cast this turn? I guess they can cast Soul Herder and Atraxa. Okay, Soul Herder is fine. It's Atraxa I'm worried about, which I'm sure is the follow-up here. No, never mind. They want to tap differently. Okay, out of here. Can I get rid of this somehow? I guess it'll go away at the end of this turn because they won't be able to cast them anymore. I can also get rid of this. They have chosen not to do the thing, which makes sense to me. Seven-hour counters on that midnight clock. Do I want to just buy back my counterspell? I can play this Dreamer Cascade. I can Timeless Witness for Insidious Will, which is going to cost me 8 total mana, and that's going to leave me with 3 mana left over. Or I could take my Soul Herder back, but it doesn't do much right now. They've also got 9 cards left in their library. Giving them back Timeless Witness seems like a mistake, though. Maybe I'll let them do whatever they want for one turn and hope that Virtue of Persistence is enough from there. I can get back their Atraxa on my next upkeep. And now I have 4 mana left over, with which I will, I don't know, bluff Counterspell. They know about my Keruga. I don't think they know about my Hostage Taker. What's the scariest permanent they could make here? Atali, probably? Archon. We knew about Archon. I'm not worried about discarding a card here. I'm going to discard Keruga, and I'm going to take the Archon hostage, probably. Bloom Tender is here. Do I have enough mana for Hostage Taker plus Archon? That's 12. Not quite. If I draw land, I do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. They're going to get me for 2. Oh, they're going to get my last card on end step. I forgot about that. Okay, that's fine. Combo. Okay, upkeep, I am going to get an Atraxa Grand Unifier. I could also just get the Hostage Taker and take the Archon. Is that better? That might be better. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Target Archon. Ooh, okay. That was enough for them. Interesting. I don't know if they were totally out of that game yet. Oh, they conceded the whole match. Okay. Maybe they're just not interested in having their stuff stolen. I don't know. Alright, well, sorry you don't get a game 3 out of that one, but we'll move on to match 2. We are on the draw in match 2. Gonna reveal my much larger Keruga this time. I don't know why I did that. And this hand looks good. I've got a Kodama's Reach, and I've got some powerful spells. Keep. Gonna go ahead and fetch that Zagoth Triome again. Tiny Bones. This one only hits non-land permanents, right? Yeah, okay. I don't have to worry about any stealing of my fetch lands here. Is this the fabled Live the Dream aggro deck? Maybe. Virtue is a great draw. I would like to pay 2 life, and I would like to kill this Bronco. I'm more worried about that than Tiny Bones right now. Tiny Bones gets in, still nothing here. Oh, we got like a ninjutsu or something? Oh, this is the Thoughtseize one. They can remove a menace counter from it to Thoughtseize me. What are they going to take? I've got a lot of good cards here. But whatever they do take, they can eventually cast with Tiny Bones. But if they don't take the Necromancy, then I can Necromancy something back. This is an interesting choice here. Oh, it exiles it. Never mind. Okay. Doesn't matter. Kodama's Reach is the pick. Alright, I respect that. Gonna coat. Should probably play a land first. I'm gonna be blocking aggressively with this coat. And I think I'm going to take the Bronco with Necromancy if I don't have anything else to do. I am taking damage faster than I would expect in this format, so that's something to consider. Okay, that's not good for them. They missed the ward. Unfortunately, no way to really rewind on Moto. I am just gonna block. In a paper cube, of course, we would probably just go back and try to fix that, like if they have a land drop here. But unfortunately, no, can't do that. Drew the Swamp for Gonti, that's great news. Hurl through Hell. This is the, until the end of your next turn, you may cast that card. Okay, that's really good. On my next turn, I can just pass, hold up, bounce Cryptic Coat, and Hurl through Hell. Or possibly even Necromancy if necessary. I don't think I'm blocking here. I'd actually rather this be on the battlefield so that if they can't find anything else to do, I will just Hurl through Hell the Tiny Bones. And then I can start taking stuff from their graveyard. Another ninjutsu creature. Why didn't they ninjutsu this in? Oh, they don't have the mana for it. Okay, so they get to cast something for free. Okay, this is just going to be Hostage Taker Tiny Bones. Hit this and cast it. Do I cast it from here? Yeah, okay. And then we'll say go. I'd prefer to block with the Gonti if all else is the same. I don't think they're attacking here though. They have to block the Tiny Bones. If I draw a land, I can Hurl through Hell the Nashi, and then attack with the Tiny Bones and cast the Caustic Bronco, which is really good. Ooh, Metamorph is probably going to make a Hostage Taker. They're going to take my hostage taker. And no attacks, as expected. Okay, found the land. So we can hurl through hell. We could hurl through hell my hostage taker. Or rather, we can hurl through hell the Phyrexian Metamorph, get back my hostage taker. Yeah. Okay, that seems pretty good. And then we get to cast that Caustic Bronco. We have to leave a black mana for the Caustic Bronco. Get rid of that. Target this. And then we go to combat. We attack with Caustic Bronco and Gonti. Or rather, Tiny Bones and Gonti. And then we cast the Bronco. Target this non-land permanent. You may cast target. I have to let this resolve. Okay, they're conceding. Makes sense. Alright, well, opponent stumbled on lands pretty badly, but we did do a bunch of sweet stuff. Just kind of stole all of their cards. We even stole their Tiny Bones and then stole another one of their cards with their Tiny Bones. Love to see it. I don't know why Keruga is tiny again. Let's see. 2 lands, neither of them cast Virtue. I'm on the draw, so I can potentially cast a Midnight Clock. I don't think this is good enough. Even though Virtue is one of the best cards against this matchup, I just, we're too far away from all of our stuff. This one's much better. I keep that. Let's see. The Soul Herder Hostage Taker combo is really powerful. Can't cast the Soul Herder quite yet, so I think I want to keep the Cryptic Coat just because we don't have that extra source for a blue-white spell. So I'll put the Proft back. If I were able to cast it, I would put the Coat back. But we still have to find another source for the for those Azorius spells. No turn 1 Tiny Bones this time. Immediately punished for tucking Alquist Proft. And this one's going to go into the graveyard. I think if we get to the point where we're casting 6 mana spells, it doesn't really matter which ones we're casting against this opponent. Bitter Blossom, wow, that's messed up. I'm actually kind of shocked that Bitter Blossom is even in this cube. It seems like not a very live the dream kind of card. If we set up the Soul Herder plus the Hostage Taker, we can just kill a rogue token every single turn though, and then they'll die to their own Bitter Blossom. Gonti's back. That's cool. Like to see that. I'm going to be blocking the Caustic Bronco given the opportunity. This has crew 3, saddle 3. See what's going on over there. Ideally, I would like to block the Caustic Bronco and then hostage take a token. But they've got 4 mana to work with. Attacking with just the token, so this is probably going to be a ninjutsu. It is Nashi, so Nashi is going to cast a card off of my deck. Wow, okay, they get to pay 7 mana and make a Virtue Persistence. That's pretty messed up. Or 7 life, rather. I don't know if they even want that. 7 life is a lot, and it doesn't do anything right now. Here's Atraxa. I could take hostage the Nashi instead. I could also just block it. They do get it back. They're down to 11. I think I'm going to Gonti here. I don't know, Soul Herder plus Hostage Taker is so powerful, especially against Bitter Blossom. And trying to stop them from ninjutsuing in that Thoughtseize thing is also pretty good. Okay, we're gonna just start sniping those tokens. That's what I've decided. And then hopefully we just kind of survive for enough turns that they can't kill us in time. They've got multiple cards. In fact, all of the things that they're doing here cost them life. Bitter Blossom, Caustic Bronco, Nashi. Professional Facebreaker. Pretty good. They are all the way down at 10. I've done no damage to them so far. And yeah, I am going to block. I know they can get this back, but I don't want them getting even more card advantage. There's the Jadar. Starting to get a little dicey here. But it is going to be Soul Herder and hold up Cryptic Coat Bounce. Always yes. No, I guess I don't want to always yes, in case I have a token or something. Hit the Fairy Rogue again. This one I can always yield to. And this one I can always yield to as well, I think. They get their Nashi back. We kind of just want to draw running lands at this point. Keruga into Atraxa is probably enough to get the job done. They're going to saddle the Bronco. Deal some damage to me instead. Okay, I can't really block the Facebreaker here. They are going to reveal Swamp. I'm going to take nothing. Decayed Trigger is good. And I'm going to block like this and take 2, and they will get a treasure. I suppose Keruga is dangerous against Virtue. Something to think about. I've already got the Atraxa in my hand, so the next scariest thing in my deck is... actually not sure. Okay, that will kill my Soul Herder. Now I feel a little bit in danger. They also drained me for 2. And they're going to play a Blood Crypt. They've got no cards left. They are going to be able to take my Soul Herder if they want it, but that doesn't really do anything on their board right now. End step, I will activate Cryptic Coat. Found a land. I am going to risk the Keruga here. I only hit 1 option. However, it's pretty good against what my opponent is currently doing. Yeah, it takes all their stuff when it dies. No attacks here, but now I can block pretty aggressively. They're going to get a Braids back, or possibly a Soul Herder. But now I can exile all their stuff. The trigger is not optional for me. I do have to put them back onto the battlefield. But I can just not attack with them, and that's fine. This game has suddenly become very interesting. Braids is pretty nuts with all these token generators. It's going to be hard for me to keep up with that. I'm probably going to have to take a bunch of damage. I can't afford to sacrifice anything here because they can get it back with the virtue. Ooh. Okay, well that's really bad. I'm probably dead now. I'm going to take one. They're going to get a treasure. And they sacked a fairy rogue, so I'm not going to sacrifice anything here. I get no creatures from Gisa. So what can I even do here? I just have to Gantia and pray, basically. What do you got? Carnage Interpreter is pretty good. I don't think either of these cards are going to get me out of it. Bummer that this land is tapped. That's still going to play it. Okay. They're down to 9. What did they draw? They chose Kolagon's Command, Broadside Bombardiers, and Swamp. Okay. Well, that probably just kills me immediately, right? Sack the Atraxa. I'm just totally dead. Broadside attack, fling Atraxa, deal 9 damage to me. And then they can sack Bitter Blossom to Braids, and I just lose because I have nothing to sack. So even if they don't deal any combat damage to me, I'm still dead. Ooh. Alright. 2 Broadside Bombardiers will definitely get the job done. Pretty sweet. Alright, I'm gonna run it back. I have won the die roll. And by that I mean I've lost the previous game. Here's my companion. And 2 lands, no path towards binding the old gods. I think this one's a mulligan. Oh, lots of lands. Okay. I think I'm going to bottom the Atraxa here. I could also bottom a land. I don't need 2 green sources. Put that forest away. Punishment seems very good against this opponent, so I'm going to keep that. Just chilling. I think I'm going to lean on by Keruga, probably. Unless I draw something that's good with Soul Herder. There's Jadar. I'm going to wait a little bit on the punishment. And Keruga. I've unmulliganed. If they have another 2, I would consider it. But if they don't, I will just cast Binding, probably. Oh, they do have another 2, and it's a really good 2. Okay, punishment it is. bummer to draw that Zagoth Triome. I wanted to fetch it with binding. Oh, I thought this was X or less. The card is much worse than I thought. It still got the job done here, but weird. Okay. Gonna blow up their 4-drop. Unless it's the Thoughtseize guy. Facebreaker is good enough for me. They are going to get a treasure. Kind of sweet. They've got a 2? Sick. Is that scarier than Facebreaker? Not sure. I think I'm going to kill the Bronco. Facebreaker also gets card advantage, though. It's a tough choice. Maybe I'll kill the Facebreaker. It's easier to block the Bronco. I'm going to play this. And probably just draw a card with Keruga next turn, depending. Okay, there's that Gisa that I took last turn, or last game. They're going to saddle and attack. Nashi is the one that steals my spells. So I'm going to hold up Sublime Epiphany here. It's kind of awkward because I don't have a lot of good stuff to do with it. I get to draw a card, bounce my binding, and counter a spell, I guess. Ninjutsu is an activated ability with a cost of returning something to your hand. So I can actually counter it. That's kind of sweet. Whatever they bounce, I will bounce the other thing and then counter the ninjutsu activation. Or I could bounce my own binding, depending on what they do. Okay, so let's see. Counter, bounce, and I'll draw a card. Do I want to bounce the binding or bounce the Gisa? I'm going to bounce the Gisa. Target this, and target me. And this way I get to Atraxa next turn. It's just like an enormous tempo swing. Oh, Obsidiot's 8 is good too. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so they can either spend their whole turn. Oops, I have to tap this for white. They can spend their whole turn dealing with Atraxa, or they can recommit to the board, and then by that time I will have stuff up. Ooh boy. Do I want Elspeth's or Virtue? Probably Elspeth's. Elspeth's. Lulth. Probably just Dreamroot Cascade here. And then my creature will be Hostage Taker, I guess, and sorcery is Kodama's Reach. That's a pretty good Atraxa. I get to play a land. I am going to have to move to discard here. I think Kodama's Reach is the worst card in my hand right now. We are both at 7 cards, but I have 8 mana and incredibly high card quality, and my opponent has, you know, good cards, but a bunch of random aggro threats, basically. I like my spot. Okay, that's pretty good. I forgot to, I should have taken a white land for this Elspeth Conquers Death. Oh, sick. They get to take my Atraxa, but they can't afford to, also adapt. So I just have to answer the Emperor of Bones. And that's going to be Hostage Taker, most likely. Do I have enough black sources for... No, I cannot Hostage Taker plus Lulth. But I can Hostage Taker plus Soul Herder. Maybe I'm better off casting the Emperor of Bones. Possibly. Yeah, okay, we can Soul Herder next turn. This adapts for only 2 mana, so I can actually do this right now. What'll I take? The Professional Facebreaker? Target the Facebreaker. Resolve that. Oh, do I need to set a stop here? Oh, I missed it. Alright, no problem. Kisa's back. I don't think I want to cycle this, what are they doing here? They have something to get the Chupacabra back? If a creature an opponent controls would die. Well, maybe I'll just take the 2. A little concerning. Maybe I'll just block. I can block with the Emperor of Bones, and then I don't have to worry as much. I can actually just block with the Facebreaker. It's got a finality counter on it. Would die, exile instead. So this actually has the finality counter on it. So I think since I am the owner of the, or I'm the controller of the game object, I should be able to choose which replacement effect applies. Yeah, okay. Okay, it didn't give me a choice. They took my Flotsam Jetsam. I can Obzidot's aid the Chupacabra and kill their Gisa. That seems pretty good. I can also Discovery Dispersal it, and then I still get to Soul Herder. But Soul Herder doesn't matter here if they only have the 1 permanent. We could Cryptic Coat plus Dispersal, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. Let's do that. Dispersal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They don't want the Nashi anymore. Okay, I'm going to target the Nashi here. I want to leave the Chupacabra there for the Obzidot's aid. I'm going to attack with both of my creatures for a total of 6 damage, and then make a Cryptic Coat. Okay, feeling pretty ahead at this point. They've got 2 cards left. One of them is Gisa. They're going to draw another card for turn. Null Priest of Oblivion. This is the one that... Oh, okay, I got punished. They get to Chupacabra me. They're going to take the Emperor. And then I'm going to start Soul Herding them. Yeah, it seems pretty good. I don't have any very good attacks here. I guess I can attack with my unblockable guy, but I'm pretty happy to just block with it. This thing's got menace. I'm gonna make all these spiders though. Okay, let's attack for 3. What is this? Oh yeah, Insidious Will. I am in a very bad habit of not checking what my face down card is when I go to make it on Moto. So let's do this. Let's make some spiders. Let's cast a Soul Herder. Now the problem with this is if we hostage take the Choop and then they kill it, they get their thing back. Just gonna leave the Choop for now. I think that's fine. Is this a 0 or a... Yeah, it's a 0. Gisa's back. Back again. Gisa's back. Tell a friend. Okay, Bombardiers is a little scary. They can 6 me here. They could also kill the hostage taker and try to get their Null Priest back. Now I'm feeling very good about playing around this. Okay. So let's block like this. And probably triple block. Well, if they sack something to kill the spider, it's kind of whatever. No, it doesn't matter. I've already blocked it. It doesn't... It's 4 power here. They both kill the creature. So if they sack something, it just doesn't even do anything. They could sack something and kill the Soul Herder, I guess. Target is the hostage taker. Makes sense. Why was a creature exiled from the battlefield? Oh, the Gisa. Sweet. Soul Herder is now huge. Drew another swamp. Well, we can draw some cards with Keruga. That's probably good. We can also get Broadside Bombardiers back, and... Is that lethal? I've got 5 damage here. I can attack for 3. This one has lifelink. What if I Broadside and Keruga? Do I have enough mana for that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that is lethal. I just have to leave up... Oh, this is my graveyard. Huh. Just thinking about this card wrong the entire time. I'm sure some of you were screaming at your screens while I was strategically not exiling things from opponent's graveyard and stuff like that. Okay, well, either way, we're going to do the thing. White, black, black, black. Let's get rid of this. Oh, this doesn't give the loyalty counters because they didn't die. They were exiled to the replacement effect. It's kind of funny. Let's attack with everything. I've got 16 cards left in my library, so I'm not very worried about drawing 1 zillion cards with Keruga. I'm going to draw 4 cards here, and I can draw another 4 cards if I want. That is a lot of cards. Okay, gonna discard Hallowed Fountain for sure, because I already have the Deserted Beach. And probably Geruda. I don't think I can actually cast this card without dying. I do have the Midnight Clock. which helps there, but that would shuffle away the Druid anyway, so that doesn't matter. Alright, and they're done. That was a really sick game. That was a sick match, honestly. GG's. Alright, and we are on the play in match 3. Keruga's back. And once again, a 2-lander. Yeah, we can't really keep this one. This one looks better. Gonna put that Gerudo away. I hope we draw a 3-drop. Marshflots is gonna grab our Triome. And we can think about surveilling next turn if we want. Crabomination. Yeah, the surveil looks like it's going to be important. They also have nothing on 2. That's good news. Let's grab our Lush Portico here. And what do we got? Another 4-drop. But it is one that interacts and ramps us up into Crabomination and stuff. I'm actually going to leave this on top. They haven't done anything yet. Cycle the Angel of the Ruins, okay. And a Signet. Okay, not much to really do with the binding here. I think I might just take the Signet hostage, honestly. It's kind of lackluster, but we've already got another removal spell here. And I just want to slow them down. Alright, we're going to go straight into the Lulth? I think we will. Get some spiders. And we'll say go. Having Angel be the only thing in their graveyard for now is pretty powerful. Alright, there's Elish Norn. That's going to stop our Crabomination. However, Binding the Old Gods still triggers here because it is... My understanding is it is a replacement effect that puts the counter on, and then the counter triggers the ability. I guess we're about to find out. Let's cast this first. Here's our land, and here is our Binding the Old Gods. Yeah. I'll attack and say go. I guess we can draw a card. We're all the way up at 18. Can yield through this turn. They're going to surveil over there. Trostani. Okay. So that only works on creatures. They're not going to get their Signet back. But that is certainly meaningful for Crabomination. Let's grab our forest. We've only got the one left. So I have to cast something that's not a creature with this. Or I have to do something that kills the Trostani. They only have creatures in their graveyard right now. Should we risk it with the crab? We could also just Cryptic Code or something like that. If we Cryptic Code, we don't have enough blue mana for the Sublime Epiphany, which I think I'd prefer to hold up if I'm not going to spend my mana on crab. We can also emerge the crab out of the Signet. If we do that, it costs a total of 5 mana, which leaves us 3 mana for Cryptic Code. That's kind of interesting. I think we should see what we hit from the crab. We can draw a card first. Let's do that. Soul Herder. Okay, that makes a big difference, actually. We can Soul Herd the Hostage Taker and take the Trostani. So now what I want to do is actually emerge the crab and then also cast the Soul Herder. So let's activate this. We're going to cast by emerging from Golgari Signet. Going to take Yarok, I guess? Oh, they're just conceding. Okay. I hadn't shown them an answer to Trostani yet. They probably should have at least waited for that, because they were just going to get their creature back. I did not pull out my companion drawer that time, and I did totally forget about Keruga, as I said I would. So let's make sure to do that this time. 3 lands, one of them Surveils. We've also got Kodama's Reach. This hand looks really good to me. Surveil land, Swamp can go in the garbage. Oh, ramp spell. Bummer. Another ramp spell. Okay, here's my Kodama's Reach. I think I'm going to want a second white source for this Elspeth Conquers Death, and I'm also probably going to want a second black source more than I want. Well, we can get, let's see, we can get something else with the Binding of the Old Gods. That represents not white mana, though, if we get the Triome with it. So Plains seems like a definite. And then things I'm more likely to cast before the Binding pops is Lolth. So let's grab Swamp. We'll put Swamp onto the battlefield. And we'll hang on to the Plains for now. And then whatever crazy thing pops out of all this mana, we can just Elspeth it. No, never mind. Not like that. Doubling Season. Okay. Do we care enough about the Doubling Season to actually exile it here? Could just blow it up with Binding. Play the Marsh Flats, get the Triome. Yeah. Okay. Let's bind some Old Gods. Get rid of this Doubling Season. Maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. If they try to make tokens, I'm kind of scared of it. The counters don't matter that much unless they have powerful planeswalkers. Fabro Elder. More ramp. They're going to eventually have to do something with all this mana. Okay, Shaman of the Forgotten Ways definitely counts. This can kill me. I think I'm going to have to remove the Shaman. I drew my forest. Rough. Okay. Another thing I could do is pass with Sublime Epiphany up. Creatures with total power 8 or greater. They don't currently have. What is the best way for me to do this? I think it's going to have to be Elspeth. They've got 3 cards left over there. Seven mana, Titan of Industry. Okay, so they can destroy my Elspeth Conquers Death, which is good, but, you know. This seems like a good opportunity to Atraxa. White, black, blue, green. Yeah. Alright, here it is. Well. Artifact, enchantment, sorcery, and instant are all free. I'm gonna take the Deserted Beach here. And then Jin Cataxias versus Crab. I think it's Crab. Okay. What are we going to discard here? A lot of good spells here. We can discard a land. I think the Opposite Odds 8 is going to be really powerful with these 2 sagas. And Keruga is once again getting a little close to decking us. Not that close at this point. But I think I'm less worried about Keruga than some of this other stuff here. Insidious Will seems like something we want to hold up. And let's just pitch the... Well, Loth is going to make important blockers. Let's pitch this thing. Okay. If they have removal spell here, I think we're actual dead. Yeah, they are exactly dead. Okay. On to game 3. This is a lot of lands, but it also kind of goes somewhere. It ramps, it draws. I'm going to keep this. Kodama's Reach can definitely stay on top. Llanowar Elves, bummer. Oh, I keep doing that. Flotsam is the cheap one. We milled ECD, Swamp, and Flooded Strand. They've got Fabro Elder. I'm gonna start with Reach. Hindotha Triumph from opponent, and we'll take 3. Ooh, no spell. That's good. We can cast Midnight Clock and buy Keruga here. They are at 1 zillion mana. And they have something to do with it, otherwise they would not be attacking here. Or otherwise they would be attacking with the Llanowar Elves, is what I mean. What do we got? Toxrill. Okay. We have no current answer to Toxrill. We're at 6 mana. We need 9 mana to kill it with Punishment. And whenever a creature you don't control with the slime counter on it dies, you make a slug. I think we're going to have to Gerudo for an answer to Toxrill here. Oracle of Moldiah is not quite it, but we do get to play an extra land and therefore crack our clue, which is kind of sweet. Cryptic Coat on top of the library right now. And we actually do get to kill the Toxrill next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay. We're going to have to take 7. Tear Asunder. Okay. We're going to have to take a lot. We need the Oracle? No, we don't need the Oracle. But we do give them a slug. I think we're going to have to chump block here. We're spending the entire next turn killing Toxrill. Okay, block here. Take 4. They get a slug. Okay. They're going to activate this right now. I don't know why they did that, but that's fine. Drew Marsh Flats. Alright, here is our punishment x equals 7. I'm set to take 5, 6, 7 damage here, so I'm still really not in good shape. But something like Gonti or Hostage Taker could get me out of this. Alright, opponent tapped all their lands and then untapped all their lands, and then did that 2 more times, and then went to combat. So they've got something. They've got Atraxa. I'm feeling really vindicated about first picking Atraxa with the intention of hardcasting it in this format. It seems like everyone else has also decided that that is a good thing to do. Hostage Taker is what I asked for, but it's not going to do it anymore. We can take the Atraxa hostage, hope they don't... Oh, wait, what did they reveal? Elesh Norn, Angel of the Ruins, and Restless Reef. Okay, so they don't have any face-up answers to Atraxa. Let's pull this out here. Angel of the Ruins, Elesh Norn, and Restless Reef are the known cards here. So if I do take the Atraxa hostage and then make a blocker, I'm not quite dead. But I can't really block with the Atraxa, or with the Hostage Taker, because then they just get the Atraxa back. Target this. I can block something small. I can make a Keruga. Draw some cards. Might get us somewhere. Got my own Atraxa. They're going to exile my Elspeth Conquers Death. That's fine. I'm going to crack this so that I can stop having priority. I have a blocker for the Fabro Elder. I have a blocker for the 2/2, I guess. They've got a flying attacker, but if they just cast it and then pass, then... Oh, Tristani. Okay, that's really bad. That takes the Atraxa back. I guess I can cast my own Atraxa. Gives all their creatures +1/+1. Jeez. Okay, block. Oh, I'm just dead. I'm actual dead. Brutal. I guess I'm gonna go to 1 and then make an Atraxa like this. Because they have something. They exiled their Toxrill. Why are they doing that? I guess they just don't want priority. Okay, here I am at 1. I can't cast their Atraxa, but I can cast my own Atraxa. Oh, Sublime Epiphany is also really good. I can make a copy of Hostage Taker during their turn, and then bounce their Tristani, but I'm still dead. I need to gain 7 life. That's the only way I can get out of this. So it's going to have to be Atraxa here. Okay. Oh boy. Alright, this is my only enchantment. This is my only sorcery. Creatures. Did I play a land? Yeah, I played a land. So I've got 4 mana available. I'm going to have to take this Insidious Will. And then when it comes to creatures, I probably want Crab. Is Crab better than Gonti? I think it is. It's more expensive though. Okay, let's do it like that. And we'll just hold up the counterspell. We've got 2 blockers. We're at an effective 8 if they have no removal. Alright. We're somehow kind of still in this game. If they cast removal, I can actually point it at one of their own things. Oh, the Reef. I did forget about the Reef. Does that just kill me? Probably. I'm at an effective 8. They're going to attack with just Reef. They're going to mill me for 4. Okay. I am going to shuffle my graveyard back in at some point. This is pretty good because now I get to gain 7 life. End step, I will activate this. And they're holding mana up here for the Paleontologist. So I think what I'm going to do is kill the Paleontologist. See how they activate first. Okay, Atraxa is a smart take. Agree with that one. Second take is Jin-Gitaxias. Okay. Now, what do I want to get back? Binding the Old Gods? I can blow up the Trostani if I do that, which saves me a bunch of life. And if I blow up the Trostani, then I can try making an Atraxa at some point. Do I have enough mana for all of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I need 2 more mana to be able to take that line. Could crab them. They've got 3 cards in hand. 2 of them are Elish Norn and Angel. I think it might be okay to leave the Trostani on the battlefield for right now. I think I want to get as much value out of this hand as I can before I shuffle it away. And that might mean holding up this 6 mana for Sublime Epiphany. So maybe I'm supposed to just Cryptic Coat. I can make a token copy of Hostage Taker if I need to. Okay. Going down to 2 cards in library. But I am going to shuffle everything back and draw a new 7. And I can even activate the clock at instant speed if I need to. Oh, it's going to shuffle back now. Oh, I forgot. Every upkeep. Okay. That was probably a mistake. I think what I am going to do here is probably cast the Sublime Epiphany now. Make a Hostage Taker. I'm going to return a permanent and make a copy. Bounce this. No, actually, I don't want to bounce that because I want to take it. So I'll bounce this. Bounce a lifelinker, I guess. And then make a token copy of Hostage Taker. Oh boy. If they can make me draw 3 cards at instant speed, I guess I die. Okay, this is gonna hit. This is just gonna hit the other lifelinker, whatever. They have no good attacks with Trostani. I'm eventually gonna have to deal with it in order to cast this Atraxa, but I'd rather deal with it permanently. And I can't really cast it off Hostage Taker because then they just get it right back. Okay, this is a good hand. I'm back to 12 cards in library. I have no way of winning the game anywhere in sight. Okay, Atraxa's coming back. They still have this Elish Norn and this Angel, right? I think so. Oh, I got rid of all of them. I shouldn't have done that. I can't, there's no way for me to add these back in. Now I'm gonna have to keep track of them manually. Oh well. Hedron Archive, Doubling Season, Smuggler Surprise, Titan of Industry, and Forest. Play the Forest. That was a way better hit than the first time. Wow. I wonder if I can mill them out now. 12 cards. Got a couple ways of doing that in my deck. I think we want to start with Crab. Just try and take one of those busto things that they just did. We have enough mana for Crab and Sublime Epiphany, so I think that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for Crab, and that leaves us, oh no, that leaves us 5 for Sublime Epiphany. I think I have to hold up Sublime Epiphany. Maybe I should sack the Cryptic Coat. I think I have to. We're going to emerge. We're going to sack the coat. Unit, Llanowar Elves, and Angel of the Ruins. All of these are creatures, so whatever I take, they're going to get back. So I should probably Angel just so I can get one of their permanents. Maybe not. And it can block. Block the Atraxa for one turn. No, because I can Sublime Epiphany the Hostage Taker and make another... Take the Atraxa again. Maybe if I take the Angel and then I take their Hedron, and then what I do is bounce the Trostani. I could also exile the Angel. That's kind of sick. Maybe I'll do that. And they don't get it back. Okay, weird line, but I think I'm going to do that. I could have attacked for 3 before doing that, but I didn't. I'm also not sure that that's what this game is going to be about. Alright, put a spell onto the stack before combat, please. No, not going to do that. Okay, Sublime Epiphany. Return target non-land permanent, create a token copy, and draw a card. Cast that. Target this. Target me. Pay blue, blue, and 4. Target Atraxa. Take no combat damage. Now I just need an answer to the Trostani. Oh yeah, hexproof. I didn't know about that. That was face up. That's what I get for messing up all these revealed zones. Okay, I'm probably incredibly dead here. I would need Keruga into clone, I guess, if my opponent has a 4-mana clone in their deck. Okay, I'm going to take 8 down to 2. Opponent's going to go to 28. I have no effects in end step here. I drew Marsh Flats, which is almost certainly not going to do anything. I guess we'll start with Keruga and see what we can make happen. I do get to draw several cards. Oh, they put the Elesh Norn in. I didn't even see that. Okay, they put the Titan and the Elesh Norn in. Yes. Okay, so there's just nothing I can do. I'm just dead. Alright, good games. Almost scraped it back from 1 life. Couldn't quite turn the corner there. Alright, that's about it for Live the Dream Cube this season. Love to see these kind of alternate cubes on Magic Online. I will say this one is not incredibly to my tastes, but I still like it more than Vintage Cube. I'll give it that. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. So I'll see you next time.